Hello, and welcome to Mrs. Farmer and Friends Family Reading Hour. We are so excited that you're taking the time to listen to stories, learn new activities, do book discussions, and find out some new moves. But before you get started viewing Mrs. Farmer and Friends Family Reading Hour, I just want to provide you with an update. The songs that I sing for opening and closing, I don't have the rights to. The opening song sang, I used to sing to toddlers when I was a toddler teacher. And the closing song was actually sung by an actor who used that song at the end of her show. I just thought those two songs were perfect for this family reading hour. And I just wanted to make you aware of that. So, without further ado, welcome to Mrs. Farmer and Friends Family Reading Hour. See you soon. Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Some families, you may have it at home. Children, you may have already read it in school or with other family friends. But along with reading, parents, I'm going to stop many times and provide some reading strategies when you read with your children. For instance, just introducing your child to the author. So, Eric Carle has written many books. So, it's not just this one, but when you go to the library or you decide to shop online, begin to look up books under Eric Carle. He's a fabulous author. But let's get started reading the book. The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. In the light of the moon, a little leaf lay, little egg lay on a leaf. So we see a beautiful moon. And right here, we see the egg. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. So we see from the egg came the caterpillar, and it's a sunny day. Parents, take note that when you read to your children, if you want them to get to know the days of the week in reading the book, in this book, Eric Carle actually takes us through the 7 days of the week. So, what a wonderful way to introduce your children to a calendar. So, we're starting off with Sunday. Let's continue. He started to look for some food. So on Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through two pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through three plums and he was still hungry. Parents, take note too that not only are we going through the days of the week, we're actually counting and we're doing some color recognition. So we see red, we see green, and we see plum or purple. On Thursday, he ate through four, four strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through five oranges. Can you believe that he was still hungry? On Saturday, he had a party. So he ate through a piece of chocolate cake, one ice cream cone, a pickle, a piece of cheese, a sausage, a lollipop, looks like pizza, a hot dog, a cupcake. Did I say pizza again? There was a piece of watermelon too. But guess what? He was still hungry. Do you think he would have had a stomach ache after eating all this food? Well, he did. So, what do you think he did to soothe his stomach ache? Usually, when we eat a lot of food, our parents may give us a little something to settle our stomach. As adults, we may take something to be able to settle our stomach and an acid. What the caterpillar did, he ate through the leaf. And there were one, two, three, four, five holes. So he ate through that to settle his stomach. So the next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through one nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. I'm happy he felt much better, don't you? Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore, but he was a fat caterpillar. And that's what happened when you eat a lot. He built a small house called a cocoon. Now, parents, when reading a book that has new or different words, it's good that we begin to introduce the word and some kind of way be able to talk about it as often as we can. So, right here, I'm going to stop and show you what Mrs. Farmer does. So, as you can see, just on any old piece of paper, Mrs. Farmer wrote the word cocoon. Now, in order to use that often, you'll want to talk about it a whole lot. So, right now, it's winter time where I am. So, many times I have to wrap myself up in a cocoon. How would you help your child remember it? Well, you can put it on a wall as a word wall, or guess what? Be like Mrs. Farmer, who has many and various things. She has a plastic envelope. So I can put my new word in here and always return to it. But what if you don't have a plastic envelope like Mrs. Farmer? Well, Mrs. Farmer gets many bills, just like some of you parents. So you can see that I have an envelope. You can tell because I put the date I mailed on here. I can take that same new word I learned and I could stick it in my envelope and always have it available to introduce new words. So that's something you can do at home in introducing new words. Let's go back to our book. He built a small house called the Cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. That's a lot. That's like 2 Saturdays, 2 Sundays, 2 Mondays, 2 Tuesdays, 2 Wednesdays, 2 Thursdays, 2 Fridays, 2 Saturdays. Again. And then he nibbled a hold in the cocoon and he pushed his way out. Do you know what happened after he pushed his way out? Whew, it's taking Mrs. Farmer's breath away. He was a beautiful, beautiful butterfly. And that's the end of our book. Parents, thank you. An activity that would be a wonderful activity to do along with your family. Mrs. Farmer made what's called a family food diary. Many parents, when your baby is real young, your doctor asks you what foods are you introducing to your child, and you tell them. Well, what if they get older, like my friends Sincere and Edward, and they just want to try new foods? Well, what Mrs. Farmer did, Mrs. Farmer has so much stuff in her house that I'm gonna have to share it with you. Mrs. Farmer had some pretty paper, hard construction paper. She also had some other type of hard paper. She punched a hole in it. She also, Mrs. Farmer has a big bag of tricks. Mrs. Farmer had yarn. She also had letters in order to make her diary. So what I did was I took the yarn and the letters and I decorated it and put food diary. In it, what I did was find some pictures and I was able to paste them in my book. I was able to tell which I liked. So I tried watermelon on October 26th and I loved it. I also tried raspberries, but it wasn't my favorite because it was kind of a texture thing. It wasn't my favorite. I preferred spinach, but I like the spinach cooked better than raw. So this helps me keep track of the foods I like and that I want to try again. This is a great activity, families, for you to do. And if you want to be able to do this activity, all you have to do is email Mrs. Farmer and she can send you the supplies to be able to do it yourself and be able to share on my show. I'll talk about that to you later toward the end. But what I want to do is have the opportunity so you can see some of my family friends just do a whole lot of things. So we have Auntie Becca. Auntie Becca, are you ready to bake?
I'm ready. Thank you so much, Mrs. Farmer. So today I'm very excited to get to work with some ingredients that we just saw. Do you remember when the caterpillar ate apples on Monday? We are going to do something with apples. We are going to make our very own edible cocoons, right? Remember, that's our word for today. And with our apples, we're going to make a little bit of caramel to go along with them. And caramel is very sweet and it's very yummy, I think. Now, I do need to let all of our little friends, our younger friends, know that we're going to be using some tools and some techniques today that require a grown-up. We're going to be using sharp knives and we're going to be using the stove. Remember, we need to be safe and we need the help of a grown-up to use these things safely so we don't get hurt. We don't want anybody to get hurt. That's part of Mrs. Farmer's family. So I've already started melting some butter. We're going to use 1 stick of butter, and this recipe, everyone, we will send out. If you email Mrs. Farmer, we can make sure that you get written directions. We melted 1 stick of butter and then two more tablespoons of butter. So I already got that melted going on in my little saucepan here. Now I'm going to add to that 3/4 of a cup of sugar, right? And so this is fun. I like to cook because it's a great way to do science activities, to do math activities, and get to see some of those skills kind of in action. So we're going to use what we call a whisk, which is a tool that looks like this. Maybe you have one of these at home. And we are going to whisk our sugar and our melted butter together until it starts to become one. Homogeneous is the word I thought of, which is a little bit beyond your vocabulary. But it will all look the same all the way throughout. So once we get to that consistency, which I can't show it to you because I'll spill it all over my computer, then, and you gotta stir it for a while to kind of get it there. When the butter and the sugar start to come together, then we're going to add, how much do we have there? 1/2 a cup of milk. So if you just have some milk in your refrigerator, you just want to measure yourself out 1/2 cup. And then you're going to stir that right into this very hot butter and sugar mixture. And you're going to be using your whisk. You're just going to keep going, keep going, keep going. Whew, my arm is getting tired. But I know it's going to be worth it when I'm done. And then once we have it cooking like that, we're kind of just going to leave it to do its thing until we start to see some bubbles. So while I'm going to keep one eye on that, on my butter and sugar and milk, then I'm going to come back to our 2 apples. And this is where we're going to use our sharp knife, which I'm using this purple chef knife. But you can use whatever sharp knife you have. If you have an apple slicer that you use, that's fine. If you have like a knife like this, a paring knife, a smaller sharp knife, you can use that too. But I like to use my purple knife because it matches my purple apron. So now I'm just going to cut our apple, and I'm going to adjust my camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. Hang on one second. Whoop. Technical difficulties over here. So you can see I'm just going to use my knife, and I'm going to cut my apple in half. And then I'm going to turn it flat side down, and I'm going to cut it in half again, and in half again. And I'm going to do this a couple of times, just so we get some good size slices, like you can see that. You can cut the apple slices into whatever size works for the people that you have in your family, whatever size mouths they have. If you like them smaller, if you like them bigger, that's totally up to you. And then we're also just going to cut out the core, which is just one really simple cut like that. And now that's trash. We don't need to worry about that. And now we have our apple slice ready to go. And it seems like my caramel over here is boiling. So I'm going to whisk it a little bit more. I'm going to check my recipe card for my next direction, which is turn our heat down. So I have a stove that has numbers on it. So I'm going to turn it from a number 6 down to a number 1. And we're just going to let that cook. And again, we're going to stand here and we're going to stir it. This is a workout as well. We should have had Wild Wendy or Wendy Wiggles help us out with this one. But again, it is going to be worth it. And we're going to do this for about 5 minutes. So I don't know, maybe we want to go to somebody else and then come back and check on our caramel in a few minutes.
Auntie Becca will come back once that caramel apple is ready. Thank you, Auntie Becca. Now let's go and move forward to Explosive E and the boy Sincere and Edward. Take it away, guys.
Hello, everyone. We are so happy to be here today. So, as you know, during the story, when the caterpillar ate the leaf, he felt so much better. But when he came out of the cocoon, what do you think he was? What do you think he was?
A butterfly.
He was a butterfly, but he was a butterfly that was what?
So beautiful.
He was beautiful, but what else? He was
Eating.
hungry. Yes, he was hungry. So what we're going to do today is make a beautiful flower garden for the butterfly, because the butterfly needs to eat too when he comes out of the cocoon. He is very hungry. He is famished. That's another big word for you to use with your friends. So with that being said, we're going to paint our beautiful container. If you don't have this kind of container, it's fine. You can use an old bowl that's aluminum. You can use a plastic bowl. We have our little dirt rounds of dirt. It doesn't have to be this dirt. You can go outside and dig up some dirt in the park and bring it home. We have our seeds. Now, you may not have seeds at home, but if you go outside and you see some flowers, dig them up, because you can use the roots and the seeds from the flowers and put them in your little garden in your home. And we also have these sticks to put the names of our flowers. So you can get creative and put just the name on there with a piece of paper and some tape. And it's going to take us a while. So Mrs. Farmer, it's going to take us a while. So we should be done by the end of the episode. So by the end of the episode, come back and you'll see our lovely garden that we created.
We'll come back, guys. Thank you so much. We have so much. We're cooking, we're planting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. We still have somebody else. It's Wendy Wiggles. So she has a lot for us to do. Take it away, Wendy.
Hi, everyone. I think we're ready to do some moving around. Let's make sure you have some space for your bodies to do some moving and wiggling. Let's start with a little rhyme. You can start clapping your hands a little bit. Hey there, kids. You're real cool cats. You got a lot of this and a lot of that. I said, hey there, kids. I think you're really neat. Come on down and do the caterpillar beat. Hands up, chicky, 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 chicky. Hands down, chicky, 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 chicky. Bam, boom, chicky, 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 chicky. Turn around, chicky, 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 chicky. All right, that's a great way to get our bodies warmed up for some wiggling. I'm thinking about that story that we read with Mrs. Farmer and the caterpillar. I wonder if we take a walk in the woods, if we can find some caterpillars. So let's start by some walking and marching. You can get your knees up high and get your blood moving and get warmed up. We're walking in the woods. Ooh, I see some trees. I wonder, maybe we can go a little faster and run around to the tree. Get those feet going fast. Oh, we're running past a big tree. Okay, stop. There's a giant tree there. I wonder if we could jump up top to find a caterpillar in the top of the tree. Let's try some jumps. Jump up high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, can we reach the tree? Oh, I don't know if I got to the top branch. Maybe. How else could we get to the top of the tree to find a caterpillar? Maybe we can climb. Let's use our muscles to climb. Climb up high. Come on, use those strong arms. Reach up high to that branch. Get your other arm up and pull. Pull up high. Oh, okay. Well, now we're up top. Let's see if we can look around. Maybe there's a green wiggly caterpillar or a purple wiggly caterpillar. Let's see. Ooh, I don't know where that caterpillar went. Do you think he's already in his cocoon, maybe? I'm not sure. Let's keep looking. Maybe we can wiggle down the tree now. Let's wiggle, wiggle, wiggle down the tree. And let's walk back through the woods. Ooh, good job, everybody. We really got our muscles going. Let's see. I still don't see the caterpillar. Maybe if we do a caterpillar rhyme, we can find our caterpillar going into his cocoon. Let's see. Remember, the cocoon was when the caterpillar was all wrapped up. Let's see. We can get all wrapped up just like the caterpillar. Let's try our rhyme. I'm going to pretend I have a little caterpillar crawling. There was a little caterpillar crawled up on the leaf, crunched up all the salad and fell fast asleep. While he was sleeping, he dreamed that he could fly. And when he woke up, he was a butterfly. Our beautiful butterfly emerged from the cocoon. There's another word. When the caterpillar came out from the cocoon and he emerged and they spread the butterfly wings. Maybe now, since we got our exercise going and our blood is pumping and we're feeling good, let's take some butterfly breaths and we can calm it down a little bit. It's always good to take some breaths to help us calm down. We're going to breathe in and make our lungs fill up with air. You can lift your butterfly arms when you take a breath. Let's do one more deep breath. Wow, those are great butterfly breaths, boys and girls. Thank you for joining me and getting our bodies all pumped up. And always remember to take a good drink of water when you exercise and take care of your body and be hydrated. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Wendy Wiggles, for letting us have an opportunity to get wild and wind down. Did you notice that when Auntie Becca, Explosive E, and Wendy Wiggles did their activities, that they introduced us to more new words? Wow. And they're words that when you see this episode, you can rewind, write them down, and stick them in your envelope. And remember to always use that as a part of your daily vocabulary. Now, we need to go back to Auntie Becca to see how those caramel apples are coming.
Yes, I am so glad you guys are back. And thank you, Wendy Wiggles, for that fun activity. And I can't wait to see what Explosive E's got going on. So I've been cooking over here, and our caramel is very hot and very bubbly. So it's not quite safe to eat it yet, but it has turned a lovely shade of golden brown, which is how we know we're really getting close. So we are just going to give that one more stir. It's gotten a lot thicker, and then we're going to take it, we're going to turn our oven off, and we're going to take our caramel off our burner, and we're going to let that cool down so that it's safe to eat. So we're just going to let that sit, and I'm going to blow. And I don't recommend this. This is just for, us demo, and then see if it actually worked. It tastes like caramel. So it works with the skim milk. So there we go. And then you'll take your apple slice, and once your caramel has gotten nice and thick, you can just dip your apple slice in there. And you can see it's very, very thin on the apple, but there is caramel on there. And I wish that I could share it with all of you today.
Thank you, Auntie Becca. That's a wonderful recipe. As I said, we'll talk about how you can get that recipe later. Now we have to go back to Explosive E and the boys.
But we're still painting over here. Everybody is just painting. Sincere actually had to leave for a second, but he'll be back. He needed a break, but he'll be back. I think he's coming right now. Here he comes. But we are still painting the box. But let me tell you, it is going to be a fun and beautiful experiment with us painting and doing. Yes, you are here. And planting the flowers. And it should take about maybe 2 weeks for the flowers to grow. So once they grow, then you can set it outside for the butterflies to come and just nibble on all the juices of the flower.
Thank you, thank you. So just think of all these activities you'll be able to do at home with your families. So, as I said, if you want the recipe for the caramel apples, if you need just the written instructions for planting and the getting wild with Miss Wendy Wiggles, all and the instructions along with the materials for the family food diary, I can send you the materials for the family food diary, the recipe instructions, and the exercise instructions if you want, if you just email Mrs. Farmer. You can email Mrs. Farmer at Mrs. Farmer's Family at sheneedsanemail.com. And once you fill out that information, she'll gladly send you the materials for the family food diary, the recipe instructions for the caramel apples, and the instructions for, along with the songs, to Wendy Wiggles' activity. Again, you'll just email Mrs. Farmer and Mrs. Farmer's Family at sheneedsanemail.com. Well, time flies when you're having fun. And like everything else, we must end. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a bake or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. So long, friends and family. See you next time. Hugs and kisses. Goodbye.